With the Dallas Mavericks completely embarrassing the Phoenix Suns in Game 7, now means in the Western Conference Finals, we will see the Dallas Mavericks face the Golden State Warriors. For being honest, a lot of people expected the Warriors to be in the conference finals and make this far, but absolutely no one was thinking the Mavericks would get this far, but they surprised everyone. Now we have to discuss the series. So in today's video, I'll be predicting who I think will win the series. I'm going to first start off by talking about the Warriors side, then I'm going to talk about the Mavericks side, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to come to a conclusion on who I think will win the series and in how much games. Before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want us to go over 3,000 subscribers, also drop a comment on this video. I do respond to all of my comments. Play that intro. Talk about the Warriors first. I want to talk about their offense. To be honest, although the Warriors have one of the best offenses in the league and they're one of the hardest offenses to stop in the league, their offense is definitely going to have to pick up against a team like the Mavericks. They can't be turning the ball over the way they were against the Memphis Grizzlies. Underratedly, the Mavericks have been one of the best defenses in the league the whole season. We saw in that series versus the Suns that when they're on, when they're fully on, they can really be good on defense. In Game 7, their defensive game plan was just phenomenal. They played some of the best defense I've ever seen in the playoffs. The Warriors have to be ready for that because the Mavericks and Jason Kidd will probably come out with the perfect scheme to defend the Warriors and neutralize guys like Curry, Clay, and others. The Mavericks defense is going to come to play. They have many versatile defenders, but at the end of the day, the Warriors are a better offensive team than the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion at least. They're a way better three-point shooting team, way more efficient, and they have way more guys who can step up consistently. And just time and time again over the last couple of years, we've seen that their offense does work in the postseason. So I'm not saying the Mavericks are going to completely lock down the Warriors or anything like that. I'm just going to say it's going to be tough. But regardless, the Warriors are really good on offense. And to be honest, I think the Mavericks game plan is probably going to be to try and slow down all the supporting guys outside of Steph Curry. So you realize a lot of other teams try to slow down Steph Curry and make the other players on his team beat them. But that game plan never works because the Warriors supporting players are so good that they'll easily take advantage of the defense, giving them easy shots. To talk about the Warriors defense, we all know they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. Their defense on Luka Doncic is going to be critical in the series. We saw the Suns, who in their own right were one of the best defenses in the league, just get absolutely demolished by the Mavericks in that series. A big part of that was because they were just consistently trying to let Luka Doncic go off and take over and try and lock down the other Mavericks role players. What they didn't realize was that Luka's just too good for that. Even if you try and just let him go off and shut down all the others on his team, he's so good that he's gonna go out and go off, give you 30 to 35 points. But on top of that, he's still gonna find a way to get his teammates involved. And to be honest, I don't see anyone on the Warriors could really guard Luka, because I honestly don't know if anyone in the NBA can do that. If Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Mikal Bridges was not able to do that, I don't think anyone on the Warriors are going to do that. Andrew Wiggins definitely not going to be able to do that, even though he's one of the most underrated defenders in the league. But to be honest, the Warriors could do a better job than the Suns when it comes to slowing down the Mavericks, because they have way more versatile defenders and their small ball lineup is way more effective. I don't think guys like Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie will step up and be as good as they have been in previous series. But to be honest, defense is going to be really important because the Mavericks are one of the best in the league. Warriors are going to have to be on their A game. The biggest fear is the fact that no one on this team can hope to guard Luka, and to be honest, no team in the league has someone who can do that. But I really think Luka is a good enough player to beat you by himself. He showed the ability to do that against the Suns. Not saying he had no help, because a lot of his role players played great, but Luka put them in the position to be great. A huge advantage for the Warriors in a series like this has to be the fact that they're home and they haven't lost a playoff game at home so far this playoffs. Also, the Warriors are the way more experienced team, and that was put on full display against the against the Memphis Grizzlies. I would usually say the Warriors would get the advantage of having the best player in a series like this, but after seeing what Luka Doncic has been doing in this year's playoffs, I honestly don't know if Luka is like worse than Steph Curry, but to be honest, they're both like right neck and neck in my opinion. If you say Steph Curry is better, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you say Luka Doncic is better, I'm not gonna argue with you. But both of them are great players in their own right, and just having Steph Curry's gravity is really gonna help the Warriors. We all know that. But for me, I think the keys for the Warriors is trying to slow down the Mavericks offense, whether it's slowing down Luka if that's possible, slowing down the role players, which is more likely. And they need their role players to step up. Guys like Wiggins, Clay, Poole, even Draymond Green. Those guys have to step up because this Dallas defense is going to be very tough. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Steph, and those guys have to hit their open shots and create plays. I definitely think they're capable of doing that. And if the Warriors are able to do that, they'll have a really good chance to win this series. To talk about the Dallas Mavericks, I think a key for them in this series has to be the defensive side of the floor. For the biggest reason for them beating the Suns was because of their stellar defense and their stellar offense. But against a team like the Warriors, if they want to win, their defense is going to have to carry over into this series. And I think that's something that's realistic for them to do. The Mavericks have many versatile defenders, many guys who could guard the perimeter, many guys who could switch. I don't think their game plan should be to try and slow down Steph Curry and let the other guys like beat them. I think the Warriors role players are definitely capable of beating them, but I do think their game plan should just be to avoid double teams on Steph Curry in general, because whenever he's going off, seems like that's what teams always do. And to be honest, he's one of the best passers in the league out of the double team, arguably the best outside of Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic. And every time they do that, pass it to the open guy, and the Warriors have enough playmakers and shot creators to just get a smart shot or an easy shot or whatever. Against the Mavericks, I don't think they should throw that much double teams. They threw a bit of double teams at Booker and Chris Paul, but the reason that worked was because the Suns don't have too much ball handlers outside of those two guys, and they weren't able to take advantage of the advantage they had. But against the Warriors, nearly everyone they play is a ball handler or a playmaker, and if they're not either of that, like Clay, they're one of the best shooters in the league. So this Warriors offense is really hard to guard, and the Mavericks are probably going to come up with a great scheme. But their defense has to be great. They can't have any lazy moments or really miscommunications, because if they make a miscommunication, this Warriors team is going to make them play. When it comes to the offensive side of the floor, the Mavericks role players are really going to have to step up, because they're facing Golden State, that's arguably the best defense in the league outside of maybe the Celtics. If the Mavericks role players don't step up, straight up, they have 0% chance of winning this series. We all know Luka Doncic is going to step up. He's a top 5 or so player in the league. He has an argument to be the best player in the NBA. When he's on the court, no one is stopping him. We all know he's going to give you 30 points every given night, and he's going to do his best to get his teammates involved. His teammates just have to hit their shots like they've been doing the last few rounds. If they could do that, this team is going to be able to stay in games with the Warriors. If they're able to stay in games, they're going to steal some games. If they're not able to do that and it's only Luka producing, this series can get over with quickly. In my opinion, if the role players can step up, this series can really go far. And although the Mavericks role players have shown a lot of times that they are capable of stepping up, they still have shown a lot of times where they haven't stepped up and the Mavericks got like blown out or something. With this Mavericks defense and offense, if it can continue the way it has been before, the Mavericks can make this an exciting series. But to predict who I think will win the series, I'm going to have to go with the Golden State Warriors. I honestly think they're going to win in a close 6 games. Up and down, the Warriors are just a way better team, way more depth, way more guys who you can rely on. And even if their top guys play bad, like if Clay has a bad game, Poole has a bad game, they have so much other guys who can step up and do their thing. I think the Warriors are just a better defense too. I think they could give Luka some type of trouble. Not saying they're going to slow him down at all. He's going to play fantastic, but I think they could play good enough defense on the Mavericks to win the series. The reason I give the Mavericks even 2 games is because I have so much faith in Luka as a player that he's not going to get swept. He's at least going to win 1 or 2 games for the Mavericks just off of his individual greatness. I think he's going to push this series far, make it somewhat competitive. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know who you think's winning the series and in how much games. Drop a like on the video, that my channel grows. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, when I go over 3,000 subscribers, also drop a comment on this video. I do respond to all of my comments and play that intro.